Hello, BookTube. I have a tag for you, even though it's not a bleak and barren Sunday. It's the middle of the week. But I saw a tag that I wanted to do. It's called the Mid-Year BookTube Check-In tag. And it was created by Sylvia Kay, and I saw it on Just One Reader's channel. And it's the behind-the-camera version of the Mid-Year Freakout tag, where you sort of take stock of what you're doing as a booktuber now that the year is over half spent. And I really liked Just One Reader's video, and he didn't tag me in it. And at first I wondered why, and then I realized he's jealous of my singing. Perfectly understandable. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. But I wanted to go through some of these questions because some of them are interesting. And I do take stock around the middle of the year. It's actually past the middle of the year. I walk around doing errands. I walk around outside in the Arboretum or in the cemetery in the middle of the day here in the teens of August. And it's hot, and it's bright, and it's humid, but you can feel it. You can feel the change. It's underneath every breeze. It's underneath the leaves. You can see the underside of the leaves when the breezes pick them up. You can feel autumn coming. Even though the weather doesn't specifically reflect it, you can feel the change. And that automatically gets me thinking about the book world. Control your surprise. The autumn season in the book world ramps up to frenetic proportions. Books, new titles, a lot of publishers save them for the autumn season. And then there's the holiday book buying season. And of course, all of that ramps up to the end of the year and the greatest of all book events. Say it with me now. The Steve Reads year-end best and worst books of the year list, not composed, as is the case with the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, by an entire floor full of people all chipping in their 2 cents worth and working pretty much openly hand in hand with the newspaper's book advertising wing, and not in, for instance, the case of the Times Literary Supplement, where what you get is a potluck in which some writers feel no compunction whatsoever about recommending a book from 2014 or from an obscure, Croatian press that's never been translated into English. Now, with the Steve Reads year-end best and worst books of the year list, you get one list to rule them all. One person who has read all of these books and is making an assessment across a broad variety of genres on the ones that you shouldn't miss and on the ones that you should. And all of that is on my mind as the summer starts to wind down, as the year starts to wind down. So these questions were of interest. A lot of them were. I wanted to go just a quick run through of them. Question number 1 is, did you have any BookTube goals for the first half of the year? And I did. I had a goal of $1,500 a month from my Patreon, and I have been egregiously let down on that front. If 1,500 of you pledged only $1 a month, I could make BookTube my full-time job, and I could quit the box factory. Let's step it up over there. Let's step it up over there at the ranks of Snap. I also wanted, in the first part of the year, to successfully orchestrate the ousting with torches and pitchforks of Memento Mori from BookTube. Hasn't worked. People are flocking to them in record numbers. I don't know what's wrong with you all. And I wanted to do more collaborations. I wanted to do more face-to-face meetings with booktubers, and that has started to happen in a trickle. But clearly, my whining and haranguing is a little rusty because it's not happening in any degree like the frequency that I want it to. So I'll just have to ramp up the whining. That won't be a problem. Question number 2. What are your BookTube goals for the rest of the year? Uh, the main thing that came to mind is that I would like to pay a little more scrupulous attention to my regular features. The Western Canon Starter Kit, we have to finish that by the end of the year. It's the whole point of it is that it's not long. Library tours, there are still quite a few shelves in Hyde Cottage here to go through, and ordinarily I would consider that the pinnacle of tedium, unless I had like, a display library like Richardson Reed's has. But just a ragtag collection like this, I would have thought, no, the sooner you stop doing that, the better. But you all seem to like it, so there's lots more books to cover. I should get to that. Also, the Presidential Library series, and the one that I've neglected the worst, pretty much all spring and summer, has been Last Week in BookTube, which you all seem to like, and I love doing it. And I just have. I fell out of the habit of doing it, and I haven't got back into it. I mean, in the remaining part of the year, to ramp up all of those, and to finish the Western Canon. That the whole point of that is supposed to look nice and accessible, so that we finish it in maybe 8 or 9 videos. You make a playlist, and boom, you've got, in an hour, you've got the Western Canon. So I will make an extra effort for that. Question number 3, which of your 2015 videos are you most proud of? And question number 4, which ones are you least proud of? Nice try, BookTube, but I don't review my own work. Question number 5, what would you like to do differently in the rest of the year? I'd definitely like to do more face-to-face collaborations. The whole world will be beating a path to my door for SteveCon 2018. But before that, I would like to do more collaborations. And again, I stress in this video what I've stressed before, which is that I cannot go to you. I have a frail, old dog. She can't get up or down on her own. She can't poop on her own. And she is very worried if I leave her for any length of time, for any extra length of time. She gets very worried. In the early spring, she lost her sister, who had been part of her life for 15 years. Absolutely inseparable at all times. And she's not going to recover from that. She herself is 15. So I can't leave her. I can go and do errands. I might be able to go, if something were very local, I could go out, to Western Massachusetts or, Southern New Hampshire or something like that. But otherwise, you have to come to me. And I know that there are a lot of you who live within striking distance. I would urge you to strike. And this business that I hear when I bring this up, I've got school, I've got work, I've got family. Again, I say, priorities. Let's see here. Question number 6 is, what type of BookTube videos have you been watching more of? And question number 7 is, what type of BookTube videos have you been skipping? And I'm kind of in the same boat as Just Jealous One Reader here, in that I watch a ton of BookTube videos, and I don't really prioritize anything. I basically just plow through my subscription feed every day as it renews. So I don't have any special emphasis. Sometimes I'll see a thing that's going through my subscription feed that I'm not a part of. Like there was a recent book tag that was all about some sort of role-playing game with Quest in the title. No one thought to tag Steve, because nobody likes Steve, because he smells like stale Limburger. But something like that, no, I can't even say that, because I don't watch these videos anymore for the content. I watch them for you. So it doesn't really matter to me what you're talking about. You're still going to be interested. So I don't really have specific answers for questions 6 or 7. And then question number 8, the same thing. We kind of end with an anticlimax here. Question number 8 is, name 3 booktubers whose content you've been following closely. And I can't do it, because I follow everybody. Everybody that I find whose content I like, I continue to follow attentively. If I find you through Ben Sanders' BookTube newbie tag, or just one of those suggested things that the BookTube algorithm will crop up. If I find a BookTube channel and it doesn't please me, which is really hard to do, but there are some that don't please me, for whatever reason, then I won't watch those, but I also don't subscribe to them. If I subscribe to, I have made an unspoken pledge, a pinky promise, to watch you. So I can't answer this question either. But that's sort of to give just a quick impression of where I stand as a booktuber here in the middle of the year. I'm having a blast. First of all, I should say that. It's not one of the questions, and I don't know why not. And I was also surprised in the first half of this year by BookTube. I was very surprised by BookTube all along with this channel from the very beginning. When people would talk about the future of this channel, when I would talk about the future of this channel, I would always say there's one thing that will stop me from making videos: the unthinkable, the loss of my fat little basset hound, who's one of those particular dogs. Those of you who are dog owners will know what I mean. Maybe cat owners too. You love them all. You'll do anything for them. You'll spend anything on them. You'll be there for them all the time. But every once in a while, totally unpredictably, one will come along that comes to mean everything to you in a way that the others don't, as harsh as that sounds. And it's not a pattern. The dog before my fat little basset hound, who was that for me, was nothing like her at all, to put it mildly. A handful of you who have actually met the two of them, and you'll be nodding enthusiastically at this point. They weren't anything alike. They would have hated each other. And yet they both affected me that way. And I assumed for a year that when Lucy died, I would stop making BookTube videos. I would stop doing anything. I just wouldn't have any room for frivolous joy in my life anymore. It would die. And it didn't. And a large part of the reason that it didn't was BookTube. In fact, that's still true. There are a whole bunch of people, acquaintances of mine, nodding, hello, how are you, acquaintances of mine, not close friends, but that large portion of your social circle that is nodding acquaintances. There are large numbers of those. I can't even still look them in the face. It hurts so bad. And a whole bunch of regular routines in my real world walking around life have gone by the board until that grief is significantly lessened. And yet, I have loved making BookTube videos. I've laughed making BookTube videos. I've had friends that were amazed by that. And it's not anything I expected. It's been a revelation to me that is even possible. And that's wonderful. And that, as a mid-year BookTube check-in tag, that deserves pride of place. And then I want to tag some people, the usual suspects. I want to tag Britta and Elisa at Paper Bits. I want to tag Sue at Sue's Book Nook. I want to tag Curtis when he gets back to merry old England, to old Blighty. I want to tag Stephen Partridge. I want to tag Lectito in Spain, who very gently pointed out to me that I never tag her. Well, there you go. You're now tagged. I want to hear how all your BookTube years are going. The months are going in. The year is coming to an end. So let me know, and I'll wrap up now, and we'll get back to talking about books. Thank you, BookTube.